9.6 billion reasons Bitcoin just crashed. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here. And in today's video, Mt.GOX is getting ready to repay $9 billion in stolen Bitcoin. Trump and Biden are about to have an epic rap battle in front of the entire nation, and Bitcoin is in the process of dropping thousands of dollars in just the last couple of days. Is a massive crash about to come to Bitcoin? How should we respond to this? Where should we go to build wealth if cryptocurrency is crashing? And should we be freaking out right now? We're going to be answering all of your questions in today's Daily Dose of Cryptocurrency. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Mt.GOX was a cryptocurrency exchange that in 2014 was partially responsible for a massive 74% crash on Bitcoin. You see, at the time, about 850,000 Bitcoin were on Mt.GOX, and when it got hacked, it all got stolen. Mt.GOX only managed to hold on to about 140,000 Bitcoin, worth about $10 billion at current prices, and that Bitcoin has been a decade in the making to be returned to its rightful owners. Next month, $9 billion of Bitcoin, 141,000 Bitcoin owed to approximately 127,000 creditors will be returned. And I ask you one question. If you had been holding Bitcoin at $600 or $700 and now Bitcoin is trading at $60,000 or $70,000, would you sell that Bitcoin for a 100x return? I know I would. I would sell that for a 100x return, immediately reinvest 25% of into Bitcoin, or just hold the 25% and sell 75%, and then roll a bunch of it over after paying the taxes into something much more conservative like the US S&P 500, 10x that over the next 30 years, and walk away with a 1,000x return on my money. That train of thought right there, which honestly is probably what's going to happen, is why this crash is happening. We've been knowing for several weeks this crash is happening. We've known for several weeks that Mt.GOX was about to begin the distribution of Bitcoin back to its creditors, and they've seen a 100x return since then. That has caused many investors in the cryptocurrency space to be more pessimistic about what the next few months may look like on Bitcoin, and therefore those Bitcoin investors that bought here at $25,000 and $37,000 are taking their profits right now because they think 2 months from now Bitcoin will be lower than where it is right now, which is causing sell-side pressure because people are scared of sell-side pressure. This has led Bitcoin today to fall through a very important level of support at $60,867, which was the left shoulder of our inverse head and shoulders pattern that we are currently constructing. Now, this is not the end of the world, because if we do bounce soon around 60K, which is strong support, then we will continue to build the right shoulder. But should Bitcoin drop below this level, which is our head at $56,536, we will no longer be looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Instead, we'll be looking at a falling fan, as you can see right here. If we drop below this level, it will not be an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which, if you'll recall, gives us a price target up towards approximately $91,000. Instead, it will be a descending, widening fan, which is not anywhere near as bullish. It is still a form of a bull flag, and it does still point us up towards 100K, but it could take a lot longer to play out. So while we're dropping here below $60,000, even at the time of recording this video, 12:56 p.m. Eastern Time on June 24th, we need to pay close attention to see whether Bitcoin will drop below 56.5, and if so, then we could see a few more months of bearishness. This comes at a time that the rest of the cryptocurrency space is likewise going through a major drop. Solana down at $125, Dogecoin down to 11 cents, Cardano down at 37 cents, Ethereum down at $3,200. And a couple other reasons why the entire market is correcting like this is because, one, there was a report recently that many people are predicting that Ethereum could see up to a 30% drop after the Ethereum ETF launches, which makes sense because within 12 days of the Bitcoin ETFs launching, Bitcoin dropped 22%. The good news is the Bitcoin ETFs went on to be some of the most successful ETF launches in the entire history of the global securities market, and so Bitcoin nearly doubled in the next 50 days following the bottom. Short term, it freaks people out because the next thing that may come to Ethereum is the Ethereum ETFs launching in a couple of months, causing a major crash. But the good news is, after we see billions of dollars flow into the ETFs, which I believe will happen, Ethereum will likely rally back up towards and above all-time highs, sending us into a major bull market, major rally up towards 100K on Bitcoin, maybe up to 8K on Ethereum, starting in Q4 of this year, moving on into summer of 2025. That all being said, though, the next couple of weeks on Bitcoin very well could end up being very bearish. And if they are, and you're in the peace phase of the financial sovereignty way, remember there's two steps: war and peace. We have a war on chaos and a war on debt, and then we're in peace. That's where we're building wealth. If you're in the peace stage of FinSov, it is time to start buying the dip. It is time to start investing in Bitcoin. It is time to begin dollar cost averaging on a weekly or monthly basis into Bitcoin and Ethereum, because these levels may not ever be seen again after we finally bottom out. Whether that's where we are right now or whether we bottom out at 50K, this may be the last time we ever see these levels. Ultimately, I invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum for 20 or 30 years from now. I don't give a rip what it costs right now. I don't care. It's going to be worth way more when I'm 40 or 50 or 60. I couldn't care less if I'm buying it at $60,000 or $58,000. I just am going to buy it on a regular basis, which is what you should consider doing as well. We should not be overly frightened about this market. It's important to look at the market on a daily basis, which is why we make this show, but ultimately it all comes back to investing in the market on a regular basis and holding it for the long run. Remember, guys, we're about to have two guys sit on a stage and scream at each other. And one, it's going to be ridiculously entertaining and some great memes are going to come out of it, but two, Bitcoin is probably going to be brought up for the first time in history during that presidential debate. We've never seen Bitcoin be discussed in a presidential debate before, and I can almost guarantee you that Donald Trump is going to bring it up because in the last few months, that's been his, I'm sorry, I got to do it, trump card against Biden. The Biden administration, quite frankly, whether you like him or hate him, has a terrible policy with Bitcoin. Biden was the one that put Gary Gensler in the SEC. So when these two guys start yelling at each other, you know, and they're like, old man, like, get off my lawn, kind of yell, then you're probably going to hear some talk about Bitcoin. And that's going to put the entirety of 250 million adults in America on alert that, wait a minute, Bitcoin is legitimized enough that it is a front and center political issue. It must be a decent investment. There must be some truth to this, and that's gonna be one of many factors that will continue to drive investment into Bitcoin for the years to come. With Bitcoin being institutionalized with an ETF approval back in January, and with Ethereum coming as well, you're going to start to see many RFAs, registered financial advisors, begin to recommend investment in Bitcoin and Ethereum for retirement. It's my prediction that within the next 5 to 10 years, it will be customary to recommend the same thing that I recommend, which is that 5 to 10% of retirement investment goes into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when you're worried about the market, I want you to keep that long-term outlook. Bitcoin has been on a consistent bull market for the last 14 years with a couple of bear markets in between, and Ethereum is doing much the same thing. So continue your investments, don't freak out, and continue to build fence off. Also want to let you know that today's video is brought to you in part by Crypto.com. I think it's inevitable you're going to sign up for Crypto.com, and the reason for that is because of all that they have to offer. First and foremost, it's very simple to purchase on Crypto.com with their recurring buy feature, but even more than that, if you come over to Crypto Earn, you can scroll down and you can get up to 5% on your Bitcoin and 5.5% on your Ethereum. So as your dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and ETH on a weekly or monthly basis for retirement, you can put it in Crypto.com and make it grow even faster. As a private member, you can get from 7 to 7.5% on these different coins. When you sign up for Crypto.com, you are putting a tool in your toolbox that is going to help you to build wealth, so make sure to sign up with the link in the description box down below. It also helps to support the channel. Another thing that helps to support the channel is hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. So destroy the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and stick around because I'm going to help teach you guys how to do exactly what I've been doing for the last 7 years, which is building generational wealth in crypto. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.